It's hard and you may not realize it in the moment, but the world moves on. We spend every day of our lives with ourselves, so of course every decision we make seems permanent and monumental. But in reality, what we do, the decisions we make, are just a tiny blip in the lives of everyone else and in the world as a whole. It can be hard to see because perspective is everything. In our lives, we're only given one perspective, and that's from our body, from our brain. That's the only true perspective that we have, and therefore the world is so uncertain. In life, we all make mistakes and make decisions that lead to something that's embarrassing or hurtful. I want you to think of one of those and how you felt in the moment, because it feels overwhelming. It feels like that is everything that exists at that point in time. Whatever you've been through, whatever you're going through is temporary. And I know that for a fact because you're still breathing, and you can never experience someone else's experiences. And that's kind of the point. It's that something so massive and monumental in your life, people don't dwell on it as much as you think, not even in the slightest. They have their own shit going on. People move on so quickly, especially in an age where there's something new every single day. Let me get this clear, people's attentions are not starved at all. There's always a new thing to be thinking about, and it might sound negative, but I'm saying this as a positive. In the fact that embarrassing moments are becoming less and less important. It's not that people don't care, there's just so much on everyone's plate that they can't care, at least not for any prolonged period of time, because we know that time is going to continue no matter what. And then you get further and further and further away from that moment. It's just when you're in it, you don't realize that. The world moves on, and you got to realize that. I want you to zoom out and try and see things from a perspective that's different from your own. Maybe even an objective perspective. Like time, no one can mess with it. It's going to continue no matter what at the same rate. So in even your worst moments, zoom out, think about what is this going to feel like in a day? What is it going to feel like in a month or a year? And they're powerful questions. You might even realize that in a month, it's not going to matter at all. You might even realize that in a week, it's not going to matter at all, and people will have already moved on. It just depends what that thing is. I mean, it's going to take different amounts of time depending on the severity, but be honest with yourself. In a year, is it really gonna truly matter? Will the world have moved on in a year's time? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes. And hopefully that gives you some comfort that what is happening or what has happened is temporary. People don't think about you as much as you think they do. And it might be a blow to the ego, but it's a good thing. I'm not saying that you can't make an impact on people in a positive way. I'm just saying that in the next month, for example, people aren't going to be constantly thinking about you other than yourself, obviously, right? Because everyone is too pressed up on thinking about themselves. Because, like I said before, that's the one perspective that we all have. And for most people, thinking about themselves is more than enough, to the point where they don't have time, or they don't even want to think about other people. They move on. Time moves on. The world moves on. And it might take longer for you to move on because it's about you. You're never going to move on at the same rate as the world does. But hopefully understanding that you're the only one still dwelling, increase that rate. Because the overwhelming feeling, you know, when you want the floor to swallow you up, it's always temporary. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the views on the other video. The frog one kind of popped off. I'm very, very grateful. If you enjoy this content, be sure to like it and subscribe and leave a comment. I reply to them all. I think I'm going to expand a little bit, do some different stuff. So if you're down for that, feel free to stay here and chill for a bit. Thank you. I'll see you all later.